No problem.
All right, buddy, the floor is yours.
All right. I can't see myself, but that's okay. Um, all right. So just want to introduce myself real quick. My name's Salem. I think I recognize a lot of you, so thank you for hopping on. I work full time and I've been selling for about 2.5 years. I started off botting sneakers and using Sneaker Box. And then someone on Discord that I met actually put me on the Amazon, taught me everything I needed to know for free. And that same individual also taught me Walmart, which is why you're all here. And I've been selling on there for a while. Past 6 months, been really pushing pretty hard on it, thinking I'm starting to master it, and I'm actually pulling away from Amazon due to multiple reasons. But that's a whole nother conversation. But my goal today was kind of to go over any questions anybody had. I will mention that I did go to the Walmart Sellers Conference in San Francisco. Had the opportunity to meet Joey, which was a great guy. Dropped a lot of sauce, and he helped me get my first like Walmart loan, which was a really big thing for me. So I'm here to answer any questions, and yeah, excited to be here.
Cool, appreciate that. Um, so I guess what we could do, I because this is all freestyle here. So if you want, if we could, if I guess we could start off. If anybody has any questions to get this going, we can. And then what I'd like to do is, I guess, go over some leads, or not some leads, but some stuff that I bought over the weekend and stuff that I kind of just thought was good myself, and you can kind of pick it apart. And then if anybody else has anything to add, obviously, write some notes down as we go. Jade, you want to go first? Can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Very
Yes.
quiet.
Okay. I was just gonna ask if you could expand more on the Walmart loan, like how to get for that,
I'm sorry. Can you type it in the chat? It's like in and out. I'm so sorry.
I think
I
she was
got
saying
you.
the Walmart loan.
Okay, yeah. Sure. So from my understanding, anyone could correct me if I'm wrong. Once you start getting sales velocity, I don't have a number on it, but you will get loans as low as $6,000 I've seen. And don't quote me on it. I believe I've also seen a $4,000 loan. And when you do get the opportunity to do that, the interest rate on those is fixed. And if you're not familiar with that, that means that the interest rate is not going to change. And on the flip side with Amazon, not to talk about that, but just to compare it, they have variable rates and their rates are much, much, much higher. So if you did decide to take a Walmart loan, for example, there's different interest rates. I've gotten both of mine for 1.99%. And if you don't know much about interest rates, that's really, really, really low. And it's also very good. There's a lot of benefits to it, such as you literally accept it in the Walmart Capital portal, and it will literally be PayPal to you or into your hyper wallet within like 5 minutes. The other nice thing is that they give you a lag time of about 2 weeks to pay back that first initial payment, which is typically eight to 16 weeks. And then the last nice thing about it is that money that you pay them back is going to come out of your balance biweekly. So you kind of don't feel it once you know how to utilize it. Um, you can pay the loan off early. They offered me a much bigger loan recently. I emailed them, wired them the remainder balance, and got the new one, which is kind of a loophole if you are in that situation. Um, so, me personally, I've never been a fan of loans. I don't like loans. I don't like owing people money. I like to pay everything off in full every month. And, I'm thankful for that. But when it comes in terms of your business, it took me a while to realize, once you do make that jump or that leap of faith and you start to go deeper and really get the understanding and build confidence in yourself, which is the hardest part, in my opinion, those loans are actually a blessing. And that's sometimes what you need in order to grow your business. If you have a prep center, for example, people don't factor in that cost. When you're pushing 500, 1,500 units, that cost is an expense. If you have a warehouse, whether you have a warehouse or not, sorry, whether you have a warehouse or not, that's an expense. So these things help you get bigger and bigger. For example, with Q4, I spent a lot of my money in September and October, and I went really deep. So in that time frame, I was really tight on cash because I was waiting for everything to sell, which it now is, and it was a good situation. So the last thing I'll say about that, and I'm hoping this answers your question, is there's never going to be a time where you really know when to take it. It's going to be when you feel it's right, and you have to kind of evaluate that. So,
Leah, go ahead. Mute.
Hey
There you
Salem,
go.
I was just wondering what kind of tools are you using? Like, are you using Scan Power, are you using Martyr? Like, what are you using, or what do you suggest?
yeah, absolutely. I've tried all the softwares out there. I will say Martyr's the best. I will also say, to be honest, it is a little laggy, but so is Walmart. So if you're thinking that Martyr's laggy, Walmart's also laggy. Um, I've also used Sellify as well, which is pretty good. But Martyr's been the most consistent, and also the Walmart app itself when you're doing RA and just scanning stuff. I don't know if you've used it, but it takes you directly to the product, and it'll also show you all the reviews as well, which is really nice. Those are the only two things that I use.
What about for your like finances and stuff? Like, I know Seller Board has like the trial or whatever that they're doing now, but do you have something else that you've been using for that, or?
That's actually a really good question. I've tried one and I don't recall the name, but to be honest, I didn't like it. And for
Mhm.
me, I'm buying so many things that I forget the buy cost sometimes, as bad as that sounds. So my VA and I implemented where I have a sheet and he'll go through that sheet and manually do it, which is obviously a pain, but that's why we have virtual
Right.
assistants, right? So I could draft up that and maybe like send it out to everybody. It's actually a good idea if you'd like that, but that's kind
Okay,
of the way
awesome.
it is right now.
Okay,
Profit
thank you.
Cyclops is pretty awesome. I've been
Profit
testing it for
Cyclops.
I've been testing it for 2 months. You do have to pay $40 to get the Walmart feature, but if you pay the $40, they include Amazon as well. So um, I was the same as Salem. I think I talked about on my call. I now put the cost in my SKU when I'm putting it in. When I add it to Walmart, I just do like the UPC dot the cost dot the source, like the store I got it from. So that makes it a little bit easier to put those costs in. But you get daily email with what your sales were, what your cost of goods were, what your profit. Obviously, you have to, add in like supplies, softwares, things like that. But from a true cost of goods standpoint, Profit Cyclops is knocking it out of the park for me right now.
So Joey, you're using Profit Cyclops for Amazon and Walmart. You're not using like Seller Board or anything else for Amazon?
Correct.
Okay, awesome.
Seller Board rolled out Walmart like 6 months ago in a test, but then the beta crashed. And Profit Cyclops is running a special. When I get home, I could probably throw the link up. It's $1.99 for the first month, and they have the a bulk upload where you can bulk upload all your costs. It took me I uploaded I think like 800 um, items for Walmart in less than like an hour. Obviously, my cost is in my SKU, so that made it a little bit easier. Amazon was a disaster, but once you get it in, you see two separate P&Ls, one Amazon, one Walmart, um, and you can also combine them as well.
Joey, sorry, I know this is Salem's call, but and maybe Salem, you have the same thing. Joey, you were talking about in your SKU, you put your price. When you do that, like since you're in Florida like me, not everything's going to be tax free. I know you do a lot of RA, so maybe most of your stuff is tax free. But when you put yours in your SKU, like your price, do you put the price without the tax, or do you include it if you have tax on that SKU?
So I put the price without the tax because my CPA files for sales tax refund every year. So I get like a Florida sucks, so they take like really long to pay out, like 6 to 9 months. But normally in like somewhere between June and September, I get like a $25,000 to $30,000 check for all the sales tax that I paid, for anybody that won't accept your resale cert or your tax exempt.
Okay, so you just put the price without tax for all of them. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Is that
No.
retail and online? Joey?
What I mean, what do you mean retail and online?
You,
RA and
you get
OA?
it,
Yeah.
you get your tax, you get your tax refund for both online and retail physical purchase.
Yeah, all purchases that anybody that doesn't take tax exempt, as long as, I mean, the way my CPA has me do it is I have an Excel sheet and I literally just put like Walmart, $150 was the total. The sales tax was, whatever 7.25% of that is, $15. And I have a sheet for every month. And at the end of the year, I give him all 12 sheets. And I mean, I average anywhere from 2 to 4,000 on that. And he files a refund at the beginning of the year, and I get it sometime between June and September, depending upon the state. Every state's different with that, though. I've had people from tell me they never heard of it, but I know that in Florida they do it. So
That's cool because in New Jersey, what I've read is they don't give it back.
oh,
Just to clarify for you, it in some places it doesn't exist that way.
oh, nice.
Yeah, good for you, bad for me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
sorry, there was a question from Leo that I wanted to answer. I didn't feel like typing it. Um, as far as what's your buying criteria, the biggest thing is like for me, I do WFS. So if I see a lot of seller fulfilled sellers on a listing, you have to always check if you could even sell it WFS. Some items cannot be WFS. So if that item that cannot, excuse me, that item that no one is WFSing, if you could WFS that item, you could price above all those sellers and get a lot of sales. So that's like the number one thing I look at. As far as the estimated sales, I don't really pay too much attention to that, to be honest with you. I've seen it say 0 and I get sales. I've seen it say 100 and I get no sales. So I don't look at that. I like to look at the price history of it and then also the buy box statistics. And some people might think otherwise. This is just what I do. I go to the buy box statistics and I'll look at the full, like it's like all on there and it'll show you the full amount of all the sellers. If you zoom in and do like 90 day, 60 day, 30 day, if the buy box is changing, that means that people are selling out. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of have to analyze it a little bit different than with Amazon because you don't have Keepa. But that's like the number one thing I look at. And then also stock amount. A lot of listings I find, a lot of people don't typically go too deep on items with Walmart. And I personally believe it's because they're not as confident with it yet. So they're kind of like, oh, let me seller fulfill, see how it moves. So if you could just get in there and WFS it, you could really, really find some listings. And speaking of listings, one thing I'll say is creating listings on Walmart is pretty straightforward. I created a listing about a month ago and now there's like 20 people on it and I'm out of stock on it and it's all out of stock. But if you ever find an item that you can't list and you think it's opportunity, feel free to list it and you could price very, very high when you're the first one on that listing. Hopefully that answers your question.
Do you have to list it like as a generic? Like this is, I've never obviously done this yet, but I know like on Amazon, like the generic listings are not good. So like, is that how it is with Walmart as well? Like if you're making your own listing, do you list it as like by the brand or?
Yeah, you would list it by the brand. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
There is no really generic with Walmart yet. The thing about
Okay.
Walmart is that it's so new, in my opinion. It's like if you put Amazon in comparison, Amazon's always there. You can't get rid of them. But they have all their structures and their systems like tied up right now just because everything's changing, the world's changing, right? Walmart is so far behind that. But as Joey like posted, or a lot of people have been posting, a lot of Amazon execs are going to Walmart because Walmart's growing so fast and they're kind of bringing that knowledge with them. But in my opinion, it's like it's Walmart. I mean, they offer 60-day returns, low prices. It's Walmart. So hopefully hopefully it stays how it is. But I always tell people just take advantage of it now, you know?
You just said 60-day returns for.
Sorry, it's 90-day right now for everybody, but 30-day. I mean,
Gotcha.
the returns that you get on Walmart are typically worse than Amazon. I mean,
Gotcha.
yeah. You could get smacked with returns on Walmart if you don't manage them correctly, for sure.
Is there any is there any strategy for Walmart with the returns? Like for example, with Amazon, like I was steered away from like women and children's clothings because of the returns. Is there anything with Walmart that you would suggest right now to avoid or like high returns?
I mean, I don't sell clothing. I know a lot of people sell like underwear and like bras and stuff like that because it has a lower return rate, but I
Okay.
personally never dabbled in clothes just because it does. But um, you know, like toys is a big return one, like appliances, you know, toasters, blenders, a lot of high profit stuff that's often on sale. You have to take into consideration. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the Ninja Creamy and the Ninja Slushy and all that shit, but I bought like 20 of them a while ago for 250 and they're selling right now for like $420, I think. And I had
Nice.
one that literally got returned back to me like 3 times. And after that, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep the shit because it just kept coming back to me. So yeah,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Yes, Andrew.
Okay.
What's
I've got two things. One is um, on the returns, to continue your thought there. Have you seen scammy returns? Like, I know there's someone in this call right now who's talked about how someone returned dirty socks and dirty shoes. Have you seen that sort of thing happen with Walmart buyers?
I haven't seen anything crazy like that. I just see a lot of stuff like for example, I sold Christmas trees last year and like 70% of them came back. Inflatables came back used, you know, but nothing out of the ordinary, to be honest with you. It's just basically what I'm saying is like when I think of Walmart, I'm like, okay, like me personally, I'd rather go to Target. You know what I'm saying? So with Walmart, I've had packages get stolen, lost, stuff not get shipped to me. It's kind of like Walmart, you know? So that's how I look at it. But yeah.
So
Yeah.
non-deliveries, go on, whoever jumped in.
Oh yeah, that was me. Sorry. The biggest problem that I've seen is they're allowed to return WFS and seller fulfilled in store, and you have a Walmart employee judging whether or not the item is resellable before they give a refund. So from that perspective, I've definitely my returns are less, but the quality of my returns, I would say maybe 50% are completely unsellable. Like they come back trash. But my returns right now are like 1.5% over the course of the last 6 months. So I have less returns, but the returns I do have, trash.
Okay, that's fair to know.
Real,
And
real quick. Oh, sorry.
go on.
Joe, can you go further on that, the Walmart return, in-store returns? Like where do our products go from there?
So the way, I mean, that's another problem too, is that they are, I think we talked about it on the call. I don't want to take too much time, but once they return in the store, the employees like give the return and then they have some type of system where once a week they mail those returns back to us. Um, so they're supposed to be bringing out a return dashboard. They talked about that at the sellers conference. It was supposed to be ready before the end of Q4, so that we can watch like the reverse logistics when somebody drops it off at the store. But like I've had stuff sit at a store for like a week before it was returned to me. But yeah, I mean, they're able to return in the store. They're able to return it, the same way that Amazon does as far as print out a label. And then some of the stuff that's supposed to be coming with the return dashboard is where
cabin in a valley.
what the hell?
That wasn't me. Oh,
That was
I
Joey.
could have.
You can keep going.
It looks.
Oh,
I
did
did
you-
have one.
Yeah, they're supposed to be doing a keep it and a partial keep it upcoming, where if it's something that's cheap and you don't want to spend a label, you can allow the customer to just keep the item and dispose of it, or you can offer them a discount. But yeah, the stuff that goes back to WFS obviously gets put back in your inventory to sell, but the stuff that returned, it's taken me up to 10 days to get stuff back from an in-store return, but there's no way to change that.
So the WFS fulfilled return, does it come back to you, or do they just go back to the warehouse?
You get the so that's what I was trying to say is like I would just recommend WFSing. It sounds like you know what you're doing. I would recommend WFSing as much as you can because at least I do, because when you get the return, if it's lost, for example, they reimburse you. You don't have to do anything, which is nice. When you seller fulfill it, sometimes you have to open up a case, you have to dispute it. It's just a pain, right? As far as where to put it, I was getting it sent to my apartment and I was just like, okay, I'm done with this. So it now goes to my prep center, and my prep center sends me photos and an Excel sheet separate from everything every Friday. And I mark on there like you could keep it, you could donate it, send it back to me. And that's just really helped me out because I don't have time personally to look at returns. And it's kind of a lot, like Joey said, they're still implementing it. So I personally don't want to train my VA at this time. But that's one thing that's really helped me is like the once a week return list to your prep center. You might as well utilize them, you know?
All right, cool. You also mentioned before about listing something that doesn't exist with a listing, and you can price it whatever you want. And this is where I've got Amazon PTSD, because if you go higher than the reference price, then you are put into limbo and suppressed.
So yes. So I'll give you an example. So everybody on the call is like, what am I talking about? So for example, the Valentine Stanleys that came out last December on Target. If you, I don't know if anybody cooked those, but those were like going for 150, 160 on Amazon. Once you were out of stock on the Amazon listing, they would block it and you would not able to sell on it. Okay. So people were milking it, charging like 200 until they finally kicked everybody off. Once you were kicked off, you could not relist. So I had my virtual assistant make a Stanley listing, and I think I was at like 150 for like 2 days before anybody caught onto it, and then it just kept, going and going. But with Walmart, they will unpublish it, and it'll show you that when the price is similar to Amazon. The thing is, though, is when they unpublish it, sometimes instead of having the buy now button, it will say compare all sellers, and that'll be like the suppressed version of the buy box, but you're still going to get sales. For some reason, you actually get decent sales, at least I do. So I kind of don't really pay attention to that. But I see better results on suppressed with Walmart than I do Amazon. I don't even think about suppressed with Walmart, if that answers your question.
Yeah, it did point me in the direction. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next. Brian, you're muted.
Oops. Josh has a question in the chat about IP.
Yeah, so in my experience with IP, I've never had a IP. What I have had was emails from companies or, the business, whatever. And I personally just take it down. If I don't have a lot of stock in it and it's not that deep, I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to deal with it. I just unpublish the listing. I don't respond to them. I don't reply to them. I just delete the listing. Now, if it's something I have a really, really high stock on, which hasn't happened, but if it were to be, I would wait personally until I got something in the mail from someone, because email is just, it could be another seller, it could be whoever, right? At this time, there is nothing that really affects you. You do get an email that says you have a high impact item that has been unpublished, and it will say due to IP, due to whatever. And I haven't had any issues. Now, have I had a counterfeit claim or anything like that? No, fortunately. That might be a little different. But from my understanding, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, if your performance metrics are all in line, then you're good. I know that one of my students is in here watching, and she had a situation with the performance metrics. Like, that is how you get shut down, not from selling, stuff like that. So like I said, in my opinion, Walmart is the wild, wild west. I'm listing everything I could think of, A to Z, seeing what sells. You know what I mean? It's just a different platform. With Amazon, yes, you have to be very strategic with the Keepa and this and that. But with Walmart, that doesn't exist right now. So you could pretty much list whatever and just be chilling. What's up, Kimmy? How are you?
Hey, how are you? So I have a
Hi.
question I'm dealing with right now, and I'm late because, anyways, um, when you send something into the Walmart fulfillment center, but then you forgot to take off your stock, or for whatever reason you had stock, it gets damaged, and you can't fulfill it. Is there any way you can edit your seller fulfilled items when it's at Walmart? Because I was trying to do that yesterday. I was just trying to go through all my inventory, making sure that I don't have any cancels. And I couldn't edit the Walmart fulfilled thing. And of course, today I got an order that was Walmart fulfilled yesterday, sold out, and then today I got it in. I'm like, crap. So is there any way
That
to edit that?
so from what I know, no. But let me ask you this: when you sent that item into WFS, were you also selling it FBM prior?
Well, this is what happened. I sent them all in and I got a return. The return was unopened and it was in good condition.
Mm,
This last shipment I just sent in, I was like, oh, I'm gonna send it because it's good. And then I must have listed it like one self. I don't even know because they were in at Walmart for the longest. So I'm so confused. Maybe a long
yeah.
time ago I
So
did.
that that happens every day to someone. What I do in that case, so basically, essentially, answer your question like you have to do a customer cancellation, right?
Hmm.
Um, Jen is also in here. She has a similar situation too. But what I do, and I just started doing this and it works, okay? 90% of the people aren't going to look at the email. So what I do is I immediately send an email and I say, hey, this item, upon packing your item, this item is severely damaged and there is no stock to, fulfill this. I do apologize. Can you please request a cancellation? 70% of the time, someone will request a cancellation. If they do not request the cancellation, which happens, I will personally call them, even though like you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't want my stuff hit. I'll call them or text
Yeah.
them. And honestly, 90% of the time it works. But to your point, there's no way to change it from what I know. It literally happened to me like 3 times last week because I got a new order and I'm like, I'm not FBMing anything. And then I saw it and I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I know I
just be
had to cancel
careful.
3 things that came in all at once. So then I was like, crap, like that's already a lot. And then today, so I was like, let me go through all my stuff. But it doesn't let you edit it. So I'm like, that's stupid. So I got in with
What you could
customer support and they're like, well, I mean, they really didn't help me. But I was thinking about emailing them, but I was like, shit, does that count against me if they're like, the seller reached out to me?
no,
Like, cancel
I
your
have
fucking order.
people.
Just kidding.
No, no, seriously. What you could do too is like you could honestly buy it from Amazon or buy it from like wherever, ship it to yourself and then ship it to them like expedited. Like I know it sounds like a lot, but if you get to that point with your metrics, like you got to eat the cost. It's not considered drop shipping because you're not drop shipping it. You're bringing it to yourself, then you're shipping it to them. So anytime anybody gets an order seller fulfilled on Walmart, always, always, always just acknowledge it right away. Even if you're not shipping it, the system, something with the system, don't ask me. Just trust me, just acknowledge it. And if you need a little bit of time to ship it and it's acknowledged, you have a little bit of wiggle room. And I would rather have a late delivery personally than like an order cancellation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was thinking about because I noticed that my metrics, if I don't scan the item the same day, it also counts against me. So I don't know.
I don't use USPS for that reason. I
Oh,
actually
okay. It
had
won't count against you if you use FedEx.
it's not that I want to count against you. The problem with USPS is they're trash. I'm sorry to say. They don't scan, they lose packages. They lost 35 of my Miss Rachel doll orders a month ago. And I don't know if you guys know, but those were selling for like 60, $55. Lost all of them, had to refund everybody. So I personally will pay the extra money to get UPS because my UPS store is like they know me forever. They scan everything. I don't even get a receipt, right? And then my
Yeah.
FedEx also the same thing. So I will pay an extra dollar or two personally, just to not even have to worry about that shit. But that's just me.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna write an email and then hopefully they answer. But if not, I'm in Cali and it's early here, but it's late. Maybe tomorrow morning if they don't answer my email, I'll call them.
No, yeah, no, I
Thank you,
would.
Salem.
Or
I
even just
appreciate it.
text them, honestly. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel
okay.
like the
I'll try
world
to
we live
message.
in now, yeah. Because like if I bought something from someone and they reached out to me, I'd be like, you know, that's kind of clutch, first of all. But also it's like the holidays, you have to think of like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And I want them to know that the order got canceled. Sometimes they're not even aware
Yeah.
and they're expecting it. Okay, cool. I'll try that. Thank you. I'm all stressed out over here.
No, don't be stressed out. You're good.
All
I got
right.
you. Anyone else have any other questions?
Yeah, I dropped a picture in the chat there. I just want to get your opinion on this. So, like I was talking to you yesterday, I was listing stuff in the store while sourcing and just kind of
Hmm.
checking it on my phone. Now on my phone, on in desktop mode, it shows it a little bit different. But then when I got back, so it published it or it went up. So I thought it was all set. But then I got back to my house and I noticed that on the computer it shows processing on the one there. So I was thinking that I had to get ungated. That was a Barbie item. And then, but then today, 24 hours later, it finally went through. What's the deal with that?
So like the thing is I think we're all spoiled, honestly, because the world we live in, but also with Amazon, like I said, you have to remember Walmart is like very new. Not like a lot of people don't even have the seller app, you know what I'm saying? So like this is why I'm saying like this is the opportunity. Like TikTok Shop is an opportunity if you have a private label brand right now. If you can make a private label brand, go do it because you'll make money on TikTok, even if it's shitty. But like with Walmart, it's like this is the time, right? So they're very laggy. They're very like I had an item that I sent 10 of to WFS. It sold out in a day. I bought like 80 more. Then I got an error on the listing. No one else was selling it. And I was like, okay, like whatever. Then other people were selling it again, and I was still in error. It took 3 months of me to figure that out with Walmart. So like that's just business, right? But my point is like um, you have to be very, very patient with it. And if you apply yourself now to Walmart and grind on it, me personally, I want to focus on Walmart because I want to be like the Amazon person who's doing 100,000 a month on Walmart because I feel like I'm a little too late on Amazon. Personally, that's just me though. So with that being said, I took the time out to train my VA with my partner and put in the work with them. They've been working with us for 2 years now. I send them everything I buy, they list it, convert it, it doesn't convert. They know the errors, they know all of that. So if you kind of like figure all that out and like the activity feed, which I have in my video, Brian, that I sent you in the course, if you copy that activity feed of that item and it still shows error or processing, you can open up a case, copy and paste that activity feed, which is basically like, you know, the processing of it, and they will get back to you. And there is also a WFS phone number that a lot of people don't know of that I could drop right here. And you could call them. Like I'm EST. I called them the other day at like 10:30 p.m. and they answer. And you can open up a case with them, and it's someone that's US based. This isn't someone overseas. So, you know, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying like they really can help your problems. Like they're there to make the platform better. But to answer your question, yes, what I do, and I told Brian hit me up. He said, hey, like, how do you list your items when you're shopping? I like to take my time when I do RA because I don't get to do it when I'm like, because I'm busy. So, like, I'll get like a coffee, I'll get like, you know, chill in my car, put on a playlist, and I'll just get the receipt after the store, send it to my VA if he's working. He's typically not on the weekends, and I'll just list it in my car. And if there's an error, I'll return it. But the thing on Walmart is, I've only ungated 3 brands and I have over like 800 uh, products. So don't think too much about the ungating. Just make sure you list it before you buy it. No matter what the profit is, no matter what, just list it before you buy it. Because in my opinion, there's always another product to buy than just waiting on something to go through all that. My bad, I get a little yappy with the answers
No, you're good.
sometimes.
You're good.
No, I was
Anybody
gonna
have? Oh, go ahead. Go.
ungating, you just said you've ungated 3 things, but you've got 800 listings.
That is correct. Yes.
That's right.
So I'm coming as a reference from Amazon. Ungating is a pain in the neck. And then the
Yes.
Amazon regating is even worse. And I
Yes.
see smiles on the pictures of how painful that is. What's the ungating process?
Sure.
Since you've only ungated 3, how do you have 800 listings? Right now it's blowing my mind.
No, it should blow your mind. That's exactly my point. That's why I try to bring awareness to Walmart. And the thing is, Amazon, like I said, I don't like to talk shit about Amazon. Like I love it. It's just for me, I'm not buying directly from brands. I don't have contracts with brands and exclusive seller. That was my time to do that 2 years ago, and I didn't. You know what I mean? I made some cheese. I learned the business. Now I'm at Walmart, still selling on Amazon, but it's just a whole different game, and you're like trying to wrap your head around it, right? So as far as ungating goes, the first product I'm laughing because it's funny. The first brand I ungated was Pokemon, and I literally went to Walmart, bought 5 like Pokemon cards, sent them a picture of the receipt, and they ungated me. And this was like a year and a half ago. And they ask you, so more detail. You open up a case, you say, "Hey, I'd like to list this Walmart ID," which is, so let me back up. Sorry. You want to list the product when you're ungating it. If it says error, open up a case. If it says ungate, whatever, and you say, "Hey, I would like to ungate this Walmart ID." They'll send you back like 3, 4 questions, like, "Is this your distributor?" Blah, blah, blah. Like simple questions. And then you'll attach the photo. After that, I'm hearing that it takes 3 weeks, 5 weeks. I know people who have been trying to get ungated in Lego for like months because they're so backed up, but that's simply all you do. There are no 50 unit requirement, 100 unit requirement. This doesn't match this, that, none of that.
Wow.
You're about to make a lot of money, it sounds like, with that. Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure stuff out because I know that there's at least one section 3 in this group right now. And
I
that
have
fear is
one as
hanging.
well.
Okay, more than one. That's hanging over all of our heads, sticking to Amazon. And this sounds awesome. And that's why I was
Yeah.
asking about ungating, and someone else asked if you were getting IP complaints or anything like that.
No, and like that's why I say stop focusing on my Amazon catalog. Let me put it to Walmart. Like I'm not saying that doesn't work. It's just that's not the point, right? You have some items that may need to get liquidated. Okay, sure. But like if you're actually trying to like shift to it, then you could still do both, right? You have to do a lot of test buys. Like, oh yeah, test buy. Like you really do have to do a lot of test buys, right? Another hack, and this is the hack of the night right here, okay? At least for me, if there's a product that I'm going deep on, I just did a $4,000 PO today for Walmart for my first time with a Walmart wholesale order. So I'm pretty excited. I was like, how is this item going to move? Right. Everything met my criteria. And I'm like, okay. So I was thinking about it. So Sunday night, I took pictures on Martyr of the stock of every one of my listings and I put it on a sheet. I looked back at it this morning and I determined, okay, how many units were sold, right? I went back in and I saw, okay, this one had 20 sell, and that gave me an idea of, okay, let me take a little bit off this uh, Walmart ID or ASIN, whatever. Let me add some more here. So that's something that I do to kind of see like how it's moving. And the thing with Martyr is like, even if you don't use Martyr, you could still do it. But to check the stock of it, that's something that is always, always, always accurate. If anything is accurate, it's the stock. Because if you do that on Amazon, it doesn't load right with the stock. It says like 3+, 2+, whatever. But on Martyr, it will tell you if someone has 100, 92, it will show you 192. So
Does anybody
I'm gonna
have
put my
any immediate questions here? Otherwise, I'm going to, if you don't mind, Salem, I'll shift gears here with how we'll do this.
Me.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
Sorry, let me scroll.
Go. Yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead, Melinda.
I realized, by the way, I didn't use the hand raise feature when I joined, so I apologize for not following the rules. Okay, you guys obviously see my messages about customer support. I am really just trying to figure out how to get in touch with them because when I go to like log in and I see that my verification is still pending, I tried to do like a submit, like a chat case, but because I don't have an account and I don't have anything to tie that case file to, when I sent the information on like the little online window pop-up chat, I included my business name, my name, of course, and my email. But when I sent it, it's like it was sent to the cloud because I didn't receive an email. I haven't, there's nothing when I log back into the account. So I'm just trying to figure out if I've already passed the 30-day mark for verification, there's no way for me to like reinitiate the verification in Walmart. Has anybody experienced that?
How many times have you applied and how many different emails
Just
have you used?
just one in my business email, and it was October 3rd. And I have not received anything back. I received the verification email and I clicked on it, but nothing ever happened.
Okay, so it's a good question. I'll tell you about my story after, but to answer your question, I would just make a whole new email and just reapply.
Okay, cool.
If
It
that
doesn't matter
if
that
it
it's
turns
not
out
my business email?
no, it doesn't matter. I have like an iCloud email, but don't like wait around on that because my point in being is it took me 6 months to get approved on Walmart, and
Oh, wow.
I've used like 4 different emails. So like the email that I even have on there is on like my old phone that I keep. But my point is, don't wait on that. Just apply. I wouldn't do it after the second time, but don't think too much about like what should I change that I did last time. Just fill it out how you normally would. Maybe do the next tier of volume sales wise.
Okay.
And are you using a website or your Amazon storefront?
No, I have a website.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, just do that. Let me know how that turns out for you.
Okay, thank you.
And just to
You're welcome.
piggyback on that a little bit, I also used my catch-all because I applied 4 times, and I was using my catch-all, so I just kept changing, variations. I just put like a dot in or whatever to keep it kind of simple still and close to what I wanted.
Okay, great. Thank you. I had another question in here. What was my other question? Oh, you had mentioned about the UPS. I was curious to know, I had like for today I shipped an item that was USPS, but I dropped it off at UPS. Are you just saying in general USPS labels?
Me personally, yeah. Like if
Okay.
it like you're talking about when it's a shirt post where it says UPS then USPS. No, those are fine.
No, it was like this one was a USPS label, but like my UPS lets me drop it off there. So I'm just curious, like,
Oh,
were you just saying in general you don't use the shipping, like you don't use the mail or USPS at all?
I don't use them
Okay.
at all with Walmart. Not after I just got burned off like $1,500 for those dolls. Absolutely not. Me personally,
Okay.
though,
No, that's great. I like that's what we're all doing here, right? Sharing our stories.
for sure. Yeah, it's not worth the extra 55 cents I saved, but it's okay. I mean, yeah.
So
Okay.
you're not
No,
doing
that's
like
awesome.
the UPS ground saver either, like anything that
No, no,
would
no, 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 no.
go.
Just USPS. Like
Because
I
doesn't like
have
the UPS ground saver start at UPS and then they transfer it to the like USPS?
so my thing is everything that I'm talking about really comes down to the scanning. US, I live in a big city and you throw your shit in there and they don't scan it. Like if you wait in line, they're not gonna scan it back, put it in the bin, right? So I've been to multiple USPSs. Something just always happens. Like so I had an email from a customer a month ago that USPS tried to charge him $12 before they delivered my package of toothpaste to him. And I thought he was kidding until I got the damn toothpaste back with a $12 like postage on it. Like I'm being serious. So
Wow.
yeah, so I mean if USPS is working for you, that's great. I don't even like to drive there. But every to each their own. I hope if you're doing it, you're
Now,
good. You could be, but
question, because for example, like when I take something in the past, when I've taken something to my postal office, they give me a receipt. Like, can you stand in line and say like, no, I want a receipt. You're gonna scan my stuff
no,
in.
yeah,
I
yeah,
need a
yeah.
receipt.
Has anybody else in here had a bad experience with USPS, or is it just me, honestly?
I've had delays with USPS, but like Melinda just said, I can go in there and go to the counter, they'll scan it and give me a receipt. They also have a lobby box in the US Post Office right by the post office boxes. You could self-serve, get yourself a receipt and drop it into that box that goes with the self-serve kiosk. And that's what I use as my dropped it off. But
Hmm.
it's still a questionable thing because you still sort of have possession of it, but you scanned it in. But you
Yeah,
do
I
get a
mean,
receipt that you were there with it,
I
and it scans the
personally,
barcode.
I like to drop my shit off and leave. I'm not saying I don't have time to like wait in line, but like if I waited in line tonight at USPS with all my stuff, if I had like, I would be like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? Um, but to your point, yes, I use the lobby box as well, but I don't know, maybe I just have bad luck, is what it sounds like. I don't
I've
know.
had some bad luck with them too, Salem. Don't feel bad. Like I had
Okay,
an
I'm
item
like,
that
okay.
like they're like was never delivered, and so I filed like a claim with them, and then some guy called me like a week later and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to my postal guy about that, I'll get back with you. And I never heard from him. I tried to file the claim again. So I mean, I haven't had like $1,500 like you did, but
Yeah, I want to think too. I want to think too deep on it. Everybody's, stuff is different. I'm section 3 and it's very different from other people. But I also have like 6 grand of inventory on an ASIN that I can't pull out right now, and it's like frustrating. So like we're all gonna have that. And to this point, I'm kind of numb to it because it's like I used to get so stressed and like all this, but that's why I'm saying you have your Amazon, you have your Walmart, maybe you do TikTok shop, maybe you do TikTok shop affiliate. I know a lot of people have skills, like you can make ebooks too, but yeah, Walmart is like, in my opinion, I don't want to say it's going to beat Amazon, but I think Amazon's just a whole nother ballgame. They're trying to compete with Temu, which I don't even know how you could do. And, I'm Walmart all day. So
Amanda just posted in the chat a very good point that their 50 plus drop at USPS was a small delivery for them. And that's where mine doesn't go over 50 on a day. So I can hang out for and scan 20 boxes in the kiosk. But if it was 150, I might be like you, dropping those $35 that got lost and whatnot, because you don't have time to scan 150 boxes. Legit.
my car can't
And
fit all that, unfortunately, either.
but if you're doing WFS, how did you lose 35 if it's all going WFS?
So that's a good question. This Rachel doll, I don't know if anybody else saw it. I know Joey has, but it's like it was so fast to sell it that like it was pointless at WFS. Like I mean, you got 10 in the mail and you listed it was gone in 10 minutes. Like that's how fast it was moving. So I just
Wow.
wanted to grab them while I had them. You know what I mean? So like me personally, I'll seller fulfill anything that fits in like a 8.5 by 11 mailer all day. Like that's easy. You know what I mean? I'll do that all day. During Q4, like my apartment, I have stuff back here that I'm like offloading, but 90% of my inventory is WFS. Because the one thing that Walmart does better than Amazon is they receive way faster. There's no placement fees. I shipped out a 55-pound box today for $7.32. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
There's an earthquake at Melinda's house.
who's Melinda?
She's cheering you on for 55-pound box.
The one who won't shut up about a
Oh,
contact
yeah,
support
yeah,
email for WFS.
yeah. Yeah. But I do a mix of everything. There's different times I sell it fulfill. There's different times, but I always see the benefit of WFS. And right now, I'm actually still sending. I keep telling my prep center, she's like, you keep saying you're gonna stop sending us stuff, and I just keep placing orders. So we'll see
So
what
their
happens.
check-in times are how much faster?
So it depends on what warehouse you had. Last year I had Atlanta and they lost about 12 of my boxes, but then they reimbursed me for the boxes, found them 2 months later and let me sell through it. So that was very nice. But
They
I go to
reimbursed and let you
Philadelphia.
sell it. They
Yes.
reimburse you for it, and they also let you draw profit on it.
Yes.
Double dip.
Double dip. Walmart's all
Whoa.
about the double dip. And there's one more thing I need to share too, because you made me bring up another thing. And now I kind of forgot what I was saying. But okay, sorry. So Atlanta is by far the worst. If you ask anybody, it's the worst. You can't pick, unfortunately. But I have Philadelphia right now, and like hopefully I don't even want to say it, but it's checking in like 7 days, 8 days right now. So I'm still sending.
Are you near
But
Philly?
I'm in Ohio, so kinda.
All right. Well, 7 days. Wow. And some people here say that it takes 2 months at Amazon now.
Oh my God, Amazon. I hate it, honestly. I don't even buy shit on Amazon. I'm sorry. I'd rather go to TikTok shop, support the people like us, you know?
Just stay
It's the
away from
same
Temu.
thing. Yeah. But like I said, it really like I'm gonna send everybody. I'm gonna just drop a link to my ebook, honestly, because there's some sauce in there. I think it'll just help. But I am more than happy to answer anybody's questions. I don't do $100,000 a month in profit. I do about 30 to 40. I do about 60 a month total with Amazon and Walmart, but I'm at like 40, 45 on Walmart right now. About 33, 38% margin. Um, and I work full time and I have a pretty balanced life. Um, Trying to transition to doing this full time because I'm getting there, but uh, I just like to diversify myself with income and 28. So like I'm still young, I'm grinding, but definitely take advantage of Walmart. I mean, honestly, like if you don't, you're gonna be salty when you see flips for miles all over the place and everybody posting Walmart bars if that's a thing. I don't know what they'll do, but yeah.
Are you implying that when there's a course to sell, they'll be posting those bars?
All I'm saying, I mean, listen, I'm not a guru. I have a course. I have a course and I help people. Everyone I help, they're doing great right now. I'm not here to sell you a course. I'm just here to tell you that knowledge is powerful if you don't have the time. I know a lot of people don't work and do this full time, right? And that's great. I respect that. I want to do that. But I've also found ways and systems to not have to do it full time and do enough of it that I still have to adapt, still have like, I'm not hands off and I don't want to be hands off. I'm not at that point yet. And I realize that it's a long term play. But the amount of opportunities selling on all these platforms creates is just crazy. I mean, I met two people at Walmart that have private label brands making good money off a fucking blister sticker that's like a replica of another brand. Like it's just like you have to take everything you see on Instagram. I'm not saying everything, but like you just have to pull back and really look at this as like a whole new ball game. I mean, they're allowing us to sell in Canada, Mexico. They're doing promotions for advertising. Like I'm getting emails to do $2,500 free ad spend on Walmart right now for free. You know what I'm saying? Like any of your listings, doesn't matter if it's yours or like it could be any brand. And there's just so much shit out there that like, you know, and I appreciate everybody saying thank you. I really do. I'm hoping I brought some sauce tonight. So, uh,
I'm gonna Sam, I'm gonna do screen share here on some products to kind of go through, just to kind of give like
sure.
a real life scenario of how things go with Martyr. I know it's a lot more guessing than Amazon is with seller app and stuff, but let's see here. All right, cool. Is this working? Uh-oh, are we frozen?
We're seeing a
happened?
yellow screen with a, looks like your floor.
Ah, there we go. Ready?
You good.
Oh no, come on.
No, you come on.
Oh, there we go. All right. So let's scan a couple things here. Now, again, this is stuff I found. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay.
But let's see here.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Damn, it's still frozen.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, that's the worst, man. Honestly, it's all good.
I'm even connected to the Wi-Fi. Well, maybe not then. I might have to not do that.
Hey Brian, can you use Martyr on your like Chrome extension and like
go through your history or something?
It seems to be different history, to be
Here, I
honest.
could pull it up. I could pull it up on my computer if you want. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, because it's kind of similar on the computer as it is on the phone, right?
Yeah, I would just do it on there.
Okay.
It's the same thing. Same exact thing, actually.
I'm that new, I don't even know. But it was definitely interesting sourcing this weekend. It's the only thing I sourced for was Walmart. So
Hell yeah.
had Leo here in the chat. We went to a couple Ross, Burlington.
Wait, sorry. Did you want me to share or are you sharing?
Yeah, you can share. Oh, you wanted me to share. Okay, I can do that.
I just have a lot of tabs open right now. Sorry. I gotta keep my head straight the rest of the night.
I feel like we're just like a big Brady bunch of e-commerce people right here.
It's a lot of money and inventory collectively right here.
Is that screen sharing?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, oh yeah, see the scan history doesn't pull up on here. It seems different per the device is what I've found.
I had it transfer over automatically.
You can highlight
Interesting.
the name of the product too, and then just use your extension.
Am I able to barcode scan? I should be able to do that.
Andrew, the beard's looking nice.
He's going for Santa Claus next year.
It's No Shave November, right?
I haven't shaved in so long. I'd look like a baby.
It's just not appreciated when women do it.
Is it politically correct to laugh at that comment, Melinda?
All right.
I don't know. Maybe you'll get a letter from my lawyer. I don't know.
You can see the monitor here.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So a product like this it was just a cheap little something, $2.99. It honestly kind of doesn't seem quite believable to me that it would sell for 20.
What? Bro, this is Walmart, dude. Hold on, real quick. All right. My bad. Not to click on lowest price history. Click load on that real quick before you do anything, because people forget that's there.
Yeah, I definitely haven't really clicked that.
There you go. Yeah, and then yep.
20.
So to answer your question, Brian, like yes, I would sell on this 100%. If it's $3, I mean, first of all, yeah,
Yeah,
but
I paid I paid $3 for it.
and yeah, the thing is, like I'm saying, example A, right here, there are so many people who have like nothing in stock. Like there's like, you think they're gonna go replen that shit? Absolutely not. So I would definitely buy like all of that if you had that for sure.
So what further? So this is what I was kind of just doing over the weekend was I was looking at rating, I was looking at reviews, seller count, I guess, just to see if it was over or under saturated. Obviously, I'm entering in this, not the referral fees, sorry, to buy cost. Sometimes I found that the WFS cost wasn't in there, and so then at that point I would just kind of manually type in $4.95. Yep, go ahead.
No, yeah, okay. So click on that where it says WFS cost.
Yep.
Click on that link right there.
Oh, the link.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, like click on it. Yeah. It'll actually take you to the converter on the website. So it happens a lot. It's annoying, but it literally takes 2 seconds.
Oh, you're saying if nothing were to be
It
filled
says
in.
yes.
Gotcha. What if stuff is incorrectly? What if the weight is incorrect? Say like on here where it says like 3.5. I found something that was like it was like 0.002 yesterday, and it probably weighed a pound. So now it's being
Uh,
incorrectly adjusting the price, like the profit.
I don't know about all that. I don't even look at the weight stuff personally. If it's like RA, just I mean, you know what I mean. I would say like goes back to like what I was saying at first. It's like this is all new. Like this is just what we have right now. We're just kind of utilizing it. If your profit's going to be $10 and it's that light, I mean, you're good either way, in my opinion.
Yep.
But secondly, uh, how can I say like I'm trying to think of what to say. Sorry. Like the estimated sales on here, like I said, I wouldn't even like look at that. I don't even acknowledge the estimated sales. I really don't. It's just it's what it is a estimate from the reviews. And the question I was gonna ask everybody, and I asked a lot of people, is like, how many reviews of products have you personally done? Because I'll tell you, I've done like maybe one. Anybody? Does anybody have time to do reviews right now?
In
So like,
lifetime,
don't think
maybe
of it so
three.
much with everybody. Exactly. Everybody gets so caught up on the reviews. And I'm not saying it's not important, but also, like I said, I'm selling stuff with no reviews. I mean, it's just like I'm not reviewing stuff, first of all. Like, secondly, go to that 90-day buy box. So if you see it has 3 sellers, if you click on that, Brian, on the 90, go to like 30 and see what it shows. Yeah, let's see. See how it changed right there? Boom, you know it's selling. That's all you need to know right there, honestly. But that's literally all I do. And then like if it's a product like this, if I saw this and it was in stock, I'd probably buy 25 of them, maybe 30 if it's $3, maybe 50 of them. But that might be a little too deep. You don't want to push it. But I'd definitely grab at least 15 all day. And then if you want to look at Amazon, you can. But again, I'm selling stuff on Amazon that sells not a lot, but it sells on Walmart, vice versa. If a Lego is selling on Amazon, why is it not going to sell on Walmart? You see what I'm saying? People are buying groceries to get delivered to their house. Walmart is goaded for that. That's why a lot of people sign up for Walmart Plus. If you don't know, you get free delivery, you get free what is it? It's like a whole bunch of shit you get for free. Free HBO, free this, free that, free gas. Like, so a lot of people are like buying soap and toilet paper, but they're like, oh shit, you know, my son needs a toy, let's get him this. Or like, that's how people are moving on there. On Amazon, when you buy, at least when I do, it's like, oh, I need a new monitor. Oh, I need some nice pens. And I go on Amazon. See what I'm saying?
Okay, here's another thing I bought.
Yeah, that's kind of fly. I was selling that a while ago. Those sell out really, really fast.
So even with this amount of sellers and stuff being somewhat saturated, like I don't know what this is about, 2,000 units, but that's not necessarily something to steer from where there is that much. Because again, there's no way to gauge velocity on this. So
if we were talking in like April or like August or so, not August, but like April or something, or like non-Christmas Q4, I'd say like maybe stay away because Pookie has 2,000. But the thing is, Pookie has 2,000, right? If you WFS over Pookie, I'm gonna get buy box. Doesn't matter if he has 2,000. If I have 5 units and send it in and price it at 50, I'm gonna get buy box. They don't give a fuck about Pookie. You know what I'm saying? So they're probably selling on eBay, Amazon, FBM, Walmart, probably selling an offer up. You know what I mean? They're probably just selling it everywhere.
what about Walmart being on here? I didn't even see that till now.
Okay, so with Walmart being on a listing,
Looks like Joey's on it.
if Walmart, oh, you guys got Joey's storefront snipe? Damn,
Oh, I don't know. It
you're
just says
not finding
Wheeler
my shit.
Superstore. It just says Wheeler Superstore. I don't know if that's
That's
him or not.
damn. Damn.
Are you guys sure it's not
That's
Pookie?
actually funny. So with Walmart, okay, so buy a box with Walmart. Say, for example, Walmart is at $20. Okay. I would if this is WFS scenario, there's two scenarios, a WFS scenario, and then you have a seller fulfilled scenario. So for WFS scenario, if they're priced at 20, I could undercut WFS at probably like 1850, lower end like 1760. And I know it's like a weird number, but somewhere around there. Sometimes you could do $1 less and it does do it. So it really just depends. But to answer your question, if you could WFS it and compete with Walmart at a good price, which obviously you would be, then yes, it's very easy to get the buy box. If you're doing seller fulfilled, or even when you do WFS, it will show you at the compare all sellers as the lowest price, but you will also still get sales because you're visible as the lowest price. And people often are going to buy lowest price, especially with this economy that we're in and all that. So it's a win-win. But if you're going to do WFS buy box, like you want to make sure your margin is pretty good to compete with them.
So Walmart's not actually on this though right now because they're not in the all sellers. They were just buy box, right?
Yeah, so I mean that's another indicator right there as well. They won it on
Yeah.
the 3rd of November and they're out of stock, and I'm sure they had hella stock. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that Pookie guy, you should honestly screenshot this right now, and we should look at it a month from now and see how many Pookie has. I'm curious to see, or whenever I'll screenshot it. I mean, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But typically, like with Ross toys like that during Christmas, I mean, you got to think about it. It's Christmas. Like any toy is going to be decent. So if you're finding anything right now and you're trying to SF it, especially for Walmart, like if there's any profit in it and it's like, Roblox or Barbie or something branded, it's probably going to sell. I
Again,
will
this is
say I've sold
oh,
a lot of shampoo on Walmart too. Like stuff like that goes pretty well.
so again, this thing here, 17 sellers I'm seeing, and then the rating was pretty good. The reviews seemed decent. Again, this is like something that was only $3.99. So I mean, I guess the return on it's not. I mean, the return is there, but it's not a huge profit. But
Um, I mean, if I bought this item, I would price it at like $16, maybe 17, because once those few, what is that, 7, 8, 9 sell out, it's gonna go up to 15. Um, I would like in this situation, if you're prepping it yourself and you're gonna buy like, a decent amount of them, I would still buy it because if you're putting it all in the box, right? Like if you're shipping out 50-pound box for $8, it's not really a issue. You know what I mean? So if I'm sending this to my prep center, I'd probably pass on it personally. But
okay, let me pull up one more here.
I
I
would
want to leak
still
all the
do.
stock. One more here. So are you mostly OA or RA for Walmart?
I am about 80% OA, 20% RA. Gonna be doing like 50 OA, 30 wholesale, 20 RA here soon. I hired a old friend of mine who's younger to help run stores for me. Then I have my virtual assistants like scanning routes for certain things. So we'll see how that cooks up. But I like to do a mixture of everything, but OA is like the best for me right now, which was not the case for Amazon, believe it or not. So interesting.
Doogie.
So like again, this one here had decent reviews. The rating was kind of high. These are the things you're looking for, correct? Like when you're going into Martyr, right?
I I literally look at I look at the profit, I look at the price history, and then I'll look at the stock count and then the buy box. So like, like in this case, there's only one person, WFS. You know what I mean? If the profit was that good, I'd probably buy like maybe 10, 15, and just kind of like, I don't want to say wing it, but my opinion is if I'm gonna buy something, right? Like if I'm gonna buy a SKU, I want to make at least 150, $200 on an item. Personally, like if I'm doing OA, Brian, not RA. See what I'm saying? Like if I'm gonna buy a product, I want to buy like $250 profit worth or like $100 profit worth or ROI, whatever. I don't want to buy just like two things off target.com to sell on Walmart. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go a little bit deeper. But it's kind of hard to say, but like it's honestly kind of shooting in the dark, to be honest with you. I mean, the best thing is like if you're hesitant about like a big purchase order or like a big order or whatever, take a screenshot of the listing like the night before you go to bed, wake up and see if it moves. It will tell you.
You're saying the stock count.
But
You're
other than
saying
that, a lot of my yeah, but then also like the biggest thing is like Walmart uh storage fees like aren't shit. And Dari could tell you too, like they're nothing. They charge you like $20 a month, and I have so much shit in there. So like the storage fees, throw that out. The placement fees, throw that out. Like throw all that shit out, and like if you're doing RA, what you see is like where you're gonna get minus 10 cents. But my point is like it's kind of hard to like go over each individual listing, Brian. But it's basically comes down to like this is so new that there's not enough data to even give you 100% confident guess on what to buy. So you kind of do have to gamble a little bit, but I don't know if that helps at all, but like that's kind of like what it comes down to. And then once you find some hitters, like when you're doing your test buys, like the goal is you never want to sell what everybody's selling. People always say, "Oh, what are you selling right now?" Like, why would you sell what I'm selling? You see what I'm saying? Why would you do that? You got to find your own stuff to sell. I want to find something that's always fucking in stock on Target. You know what I mean? So I will find something, do a test buy, do it that way. What's up, Kimmy?
How many
Kim's.
items usually
Sorry.
no, you can call me Kimmy. Everybody calls me Kimmy. How many items do you usually
Okay,
test
okay, my
buy
bad.
for? Is it depending
Like
on the listing?
it really depends. Like I'll be honest. Yeah, I mean, recently, like since September, I just been going like kind of super hard on stuff and just thinking like of Christmas, you know what I mean? And just buying like 50 of this or whatever of that. Because if you find the good sale, Kim, to answer your question, like Target had a really good sale recently. I don't know if anybody saw that, but like if you go hard on those, like you're almost guaranteed to win because it's Target. If they're selling it, like that shit moves. You know what I'm saying? So when I have sales like that, I hit it very, very hard. So like Black Friday, I'm not spending any money from today until Black Friday. Personally, I'm not. I'm doing other stuff in my business while I'm waiting because you know, I don't have enough time to buy 100 units right now, wait a week for it to deliver and then prep it. Like I have to do it seller fulfilled, right? So to answer your question, it really just depends. But if you just have in your gut feeling like, okay, this is gonna move, like if it's like a beauty product or like a household item, it's probably gonna sell pretty good on Walmart. So I always kind of grab those. But if you find something that's so good of a deal, you're like, what the hell? Like, just grab it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing lately. I can kind of know like if with my toys, what's popular, what movies are coming out, and all that stuff. So I'm kind of just going for it, and I just look at the stock count everybody has, and usually not everybody has like a ton in WFS. That's what I've noticed compared to like Amazon where people have like hundreds of units sometimes. So I'm like, cool, we'll all get the buy box, we'll all make money. So and
Oh,
if there is no WFS
sure.
sellers, I have been just sending it in, and I'm like, I'll just send it in because I mean, what do I have to lose, you know? Especially if it's something that's not too expensive, and test it. So, but yeah, but I just kind of like to know like for more experienced sellers if they kind of still test by like a little bit or they just
I
you know.
mean, I bought like 150 units of like maybe 10 ASINs this year on stuff, which was pretty deep for me, but I kind of am. But typically I like to do like 10 to 25, sometimes 30 of stuff, just, just to like make confidence in myself too. Like, this is gonna sell. And the thing is, Kim, is like stuff doesn't tank like you notice like on Amazon. Like you don't wake up and it's like, oh, this went down $20. Like it doesn't happen. So like you don't really have that worry. And if it sits for 3 months, I don't really give a shit because I'm getting charged a penny for it to sit there. So and don't get me wrong, I've made bad buys. I have stuff in there that's not really moving. I mean, that's no one's gonna make perfect buys, but I personally think reflecting on it, definitely more W's than L's. Um, but like I said, find a replenishable, put it in a Excel sheet, have your virtual assistant put in an Excel sheet and be like, hey, every day or every Thursday, tell me how much stock we have left on this item and like track it. If you start seeing sales coming in on your phone, like whenever I list something, like just before the call, I got an order of something and I'm like, shit. And I literally just ordered 30 more before the call because I'm like, look, it's in stock now. After this, like it's done, right? So you have to kind of like pay attention to your orders. Every morning when I wake up, I look at my orders and I kind of analyze it like, damn, I should have bought more of those. I'm like, fuck. Or I'm like, I lost money on this. And like, you have to kind of like take that into consideration because 90% of the stuff you buy non Q4 during Walmart, you could replenish.
Yeah,
100%.
that's true. Too, with Walmart, it just feels like a little less stressful because of there is no tanking situation, and
And,
so
and
yeah, I
there's
think what you
high
would.
barriers. There's high barriers to entry too. Like, people are having a hard time getting in. Like, that means
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of people are coming here, you know? And a lot of these Amazon sellers, like the big people, they're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like go into Walmart. A lot of them haven't even gotten into Walmart, but a lot of them don't even know Walmart. Like they hit me up all the time, because they just don't know. It's like it's just a different art. But once you kind of get adaptive to it and you start moving it like you are Amazon, you're not gonna want to do Amazon like that personally.
I have been
At
sending
least me, I'm done.
boxes into Walmart. I'm hardly sending anything into Amazon right now.
No, exactly. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
100%. And then the one thing I wanted to say is I don't know if anyone uses Refund Stacker, but one of my first students told me about it and I appreciate it. But they basically go through your inventory and like find discrepancies and get you reimbursed for that inventory. And most of the time it does get received eventually. And you get to sell through it. And the reason why Walmart does that is because they understand that like we need our money back. So they understand the importance of like refunding us our shipments. So anytime a shipment is not fully received, I believe it's 15 days or 10, or I gotta look, it's been a while. But you could open up a case or have Refund Stacker do it for you, and they'll reimburse it to your WFS. I had 60 like Stanley's type cups get returned to me because they were damaged, like in transit when I sent them to Walmart. Walmart refunded me like all the money. It was like $900 plus. And if it wasn't for Refund Stacker, I wouldn't have got that money back because I was on vacation and didn't know. The only downside to them is they charge 25%. But then again, I don't have to do anything. So just take that into consideration. Anyone else have any questions? I gotta get my ass some food. I'm starving. But what I wanted to say is though is I appreciate everybody being on. I really do. I hope I dropped some knowledge. It's just weird kind of explaining all this because it might sound like I'm winging it, but you just kind of like an art to it. And that's what makes it kind of fun, right? And once you kind of like vibe that out and kind of get that, you'll know what I'm saying. But you know, storefront stock like you do on Amazon as well. I mean, it's the same thing. And the benefit of storefront stocking on Walmart is that it actually shows you items that are out of stock from the seller, which is pretty fire, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of just building up a catalog and getting some muscle memory built up. Over time, you're gonna just kind of figure out like what goes and what doesn't, what worked and what didn't. That's what it seems like, anyways.
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, and like I don't know if anyone's in the wholesale, but if you're looking to get into wholesale, I think Walmart is a good opportunity to do that just because it's not saturated right now. And a lot of products that people are finding for Amazon, they aren't cross listing, they're not really looking at. So if you are in the wholesale space or looking to get into that, I would definitely focus that catalog on Walmart if you are selling on there and kind of just with the Amazon. If you do have closeout distributors or liquidation stores in your area, take advantage of it. Like I said, Walmart's not going to ask you for an invoice. So you could really, really, really eat some good profit there. One of my students buys pallets. And I mean, this dude is just like, he's selling so much stuff because he doesn't have to worry about anything. He doesn't have to worry about his account getting shut down. You know what I mean? So take advantage of all that for sure. But I have to get off here to eat. I'm assuming you were going to end it here shortly anyway.
Yeah, no, we can wrap this up. You said something about I just saw it, the ebook link.
Oh, who said, do I sleep? No, I don't sleep. Sorry, yeah, so let me resend that. Kimmy, you're funny. I don't even know how I go to work half the time, to be honest with you. Yeah, so this is my ebook. It's not letting me send it. I wrote it all myself. It's not AI generated. I think there's enough sauce in there for anyone new to like get a good head around it. And then I do have like a Walmart course. I also do coaching as well. So if anybody needs anything, let me know. I like to help people. A lot of people are always like, oh, like, which coach do I pick? You got to find a coach that you vibe with, someone, who could vibe with you. A lot of my students like work full time. So I kind of like give them tips on that because, there's not a lot of us that work full time. It's not the easiest thing to do, but you can make it work. So, but yeah, check out my ebook, please, and let me know what you think. I greatly appreciate any feedback on that.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
Yes,
thank you
thank you.
guys. You have a
Good.
great
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you,
Appreciate you guys.
Salem.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Good night.
much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.